welcome to a day in my life vlog. Today we are going to be doing a little bit of cleaning, sprucing, and meal prepping because my in-laws are coming to town and they've never seen our new place, so I just kind of want to get it feeling nice and fresh. And the last time I shared a cleaning routine video, I got some questions about how Nicholas and I divide the household tasks, which I think is a really interesting question and something that I thought a lot about before we moved in together. And what we did was we talked about the chores that we really don't like doing and the ones that we kind of don't mind doing, and we found some places where we really complement each other. So I don't love taking out the trash. He doesn't mind it. I don't really love doing the bathrooms. He actually doesn't mind doing the bathrooms, whereas like he hates doing dishes, and I personally don't mind anything to do with the kitchen or like the bedrooms or the living room. I don't mind like dusting and vacuuming and stuff like that. And so we just kind of found our spots, and now it's just like second nature. We don't even really talk about it. We kind of have our jobs and that's what works for us. But if there's like a big cleaning project that we want to do, like right now we want to get our place ready for his parents to come visit, we will have like a day set aside where we kind of talk about like, okay, can you do this? Like for example, there are some very dusty vents that I personally don't really want to do, but he doesn't mind doing. So like we kind of divvied it up like that. Also today I'm going to be doing some meal prepping, and I'm going to make my mini meatloaf muffins. I have several vegan meatloaf recipes on this channel and on my blog, but the mini meatloaf muffins are great because they cook really quickly and they're perfect for meal prep because they're a really delicious and very healthy, nutrient dense dinner that I think just tastes like comfort food, even though you're getting great ingredients like lentils and carrots and mushrooms and onions and walnuts. It just tastes like meatloaf, and it's just very hearty and filling and delicious. However, it's also really great the next day to make sandwiches. I love a meatloaf sandwich, and I love having these prepped and ready to go. So we're gonna make that together later today and just spend the day together. So I hope you enjoy this video. I'm gonna go ahead and get started on the kitchen. That's definitely the area that needs the most help today. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. So when I'm cleaning my home, I really like to use naturally derived, vegan-friendly, cruelty-free products. And you guys know that I've been using Blue Land products for over a year. This is completely empty, so I'm gonna go ahead and refill it with you guys. But these are the dishwasher tabs. I just keep this little forever container right by my sink, and every night when we do the dishes, I just take out one of these tabs, and they do not have that extra layer of plastic around them that so many other dish tabs do. I always kind of thought that like that plastic around the dish tabs must be there for a reason. There must be a reason why other companies do that. And so I was kind of skeptical about trying these, but like I said, we've used an entire container and I can tell you they work so well, and you don't need an extra rinse aid. It's such like a simplified version of something that you use every day. But when you're using those plastic dish tabs, that gets into the water and it's just so unnecessary. Like this works really well and there's no plastic. So for me, it was a total no-brainer. This is actually compostable too. There we go. They look like this. No dye, no fragrance, nothing. You don't need it. And you just keep it in this little forever case. And I actually think this looks really nice. And I actually have a really great discount code for you guys if you want to try Blue Land. I teamed up with them to get you guys 15% off your first order. I'll go ahead and put the link on the screen. They also make laundry tabs and toilet tabs, so lots to choose from. And it just feels so nice to use products that I know are made really well, are effective, and they are affordable. So I really hope you guys enjoy that 15% off discount, and I'm gonna go finish cleaning the kitchen. I feel like it's very noisy in here right now. There's a lot of like humming from outside, so I'm gonna make this very quick. But I have been obsessed, like my current lunch fixation has been a very specific chickpea tuna recipe, but with crackers. I love this combination. It just feels so nostalgic and classic. And this chickpea tuna recipe is another one that's great for meal prep. I'm gonna write it out with the measurements and everything at the end of this video. So stay tuned until the end and you can either screenshot it or write it down so you have the recipe. It's very easy to make. It's even better the next day, so great for meal prep. Sometimes I'll even make it while I'm prepping dinner because it's easy, and then I'll have it ready to go for the next day. But this with crackers and a glass of orange juice has just been the best lunch. It's so easy because it's prepped and ready to go. I don't have to make anything, and it's really hearty. It's packed with protein, fiber, and it's just really flavorful and like has kind of an old, I feel like I'm in an old school food mood recently, like chickpea tuna and crackers, making meatloaf for dinner, like just that good old-fashioned comfort food, but plant-based. And I just love the ingredients and all the recipes that I'm sharing with you in this video. That's what I'm gonna have for lunch, and then we will get back to it. So I just had some chips and salsa and strawberries, so I'm feeling re-energized and ready to start meal prepping. I'm gonna make my mini meatloaf muffins, and the full recipe is gonna be in the description box below. I love making this recipe because this is a version of meatloaf that cooks really quickly because it's cooked actually just in a regular muffin tin, and it gets nice and crispy around the edges, which adds a nice texture. And it's a great way to get like vegetables into your diet because you don't feel like you're eating vegetables, but they're actually just so loaded with nourishing ingredients. And I love this recipe. I've been making it for years, and one thing I know from experience of making this recipe is that it's easier, so much easier if you get yourself one of these. Now I know I talk about this all the time, not sponsored. I just love this. It's like $20 and it just makes quick work out of chopping, especially when you're making something like a lentil meatloaf or, you know, lentil meatballs or a nut roast, and you want everything to be chopped really, really fine. This is one of those recipes where the smaller you chop everything up, the better and more cohesive the texture and flavor is gonna be. And having this just makes it to where like I can whip up this recipe fairly easily, and it's just so good. I even use this for my chickpea tuna. It just makes everything so small and quick, and I just like push the button a couple times and it's chopped. Like, it's amazing. So I wanted to just say that like recipes like this are such a game changer when you have good tools. I actually wrote about that in my cookbook, that having good tools in the kitchen can really be the difference between, you know, how your food turns out and how much you enjoy the cooking process. Like, sometimes just having the right tool for the job doesn't have to be fancy, doesn't have to be expensive, but just having something that's efficient, it can make all the difference. Speaking of my cookbook, there is a recipe in this cookbook called Greek lentil meatballs, and they are basically, they look like this, and it has like this red pepper dip, and you serve it on pita, and it's absolutely delicious. I love this recipe, but the method is actually very similar to the meatloaf recipe that I make. So if you've made my meatloafs in the past and you want to try something different, these lentil meatballs are great, and they are so good with the sauce and like with the cucumbers and the warm pita bread. It's absolutely delicious. It's on page 107. All right, so I'm just going to gather up my veggies, put on a podcast, and get started on meal prepping. Nicholas has been using this sweater shaver on our couch. We actually had a lot of pilling. You can see there's a little bit still, but it was like black because anytime you wear black socks or black clothing, it would just like catch on this material, and this whole thing was black. I wish I would have had like a before and after because this really did such a good job. I didn't know it was going to work so well, so I will link this below, but I usually use this for my sweaters, and we're not done. We're kind of doing it in stages, but like these little things are so much better. Yeah, this is awesome. I am about to get ready for bed. It's actually the next day now. I have some laundry going, so I don't know if you can hear that, but we have been cleaning and we're gonna spend the day with his family tomorrow, so I'm really excited about that. We actually just had a frozen vegan pizza today so that we didn't have to mess up the kitchen too much. I just wanted something minimal effort. So the kitchen is still nice and clean. I'm gonna hop in the shower and get ready for bed, but I hope you guys enjoyed this video and that it gave you some good ideas. The recipes are gonna be in the description box below, and I'm going to put the chickpea tuna recipe on a card right after this. So I hope you guys enjoyed that recipe, and I will see you in a video very soon. Bye.